All right, welcome back everyone dito sa paborito niyong pinakabalahurang podcast and at the same time very credible. Today kasama po natin isa sa mga the greatest, the most amazing justice in Philippine history, Antonio Carpio. Thank you very much, Justice. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you to our viewers. Kuwang-kuha mo si Donald Trump.
The greatest, they say. Justice, so there's a lot to discuss today. My goodness, I mean, I'm really sorry. May mga nagalit sa akin. Sabi, Richard, napaka-grim yung topics mo. Bakit ganyan ka rin? I'm just saying exactly. Kaya nga kailangan namin na to lighten up the topic a little bit with some humor, but not misplaced. Kasi mabigat tong mga topic natin. So obviously, Justice Carpio, daming content, daming content, dami natin kailangan pag-usapan. So I think for the first time, we're gonna have a podcast together na hindi natin masyadong mapag-usapan ng West Philippine Sea. We'll leave that maybe later on, a separate one dun sa Ayungin
Okay.
Task Force and as the Trump team comes together because ang dami natin pag-usapan about your beloved kababayans from Davao before we talk about my beloved kababayans from Ilocos region. But before that, Justice Carpio, um, I want to ask you kasi kahapon kasama po natin si General Torre at around 1 a.m. na halos at tinanong ko siya, sabi ko, dalawa lang tanong ko sa kanya. Unang-una, meron ba siyang information as the head of CIDG na saan si Mary Grace Piatos? At ang sagot niya, ang sagot niya, tanongin mo yung Philippine Statistics Authority. But ito talaga, ito serious na tanong yan. Tinanong ko sa kanya, Justice, kamusta yung kalagayan ng manhunt for Harry Roque? Kung tuloy po ba itong manhunt na ito or has the status been changed? Kasi hindi nasagot ni General. He said, can you clarify what you mean by manhunt? I said, that's the term you used, manhunt. So, so Justice Carpio, I mean, do you have any information? Because parang ang sagot ni General Torres sa akin, parang Miss Universe. We have 7,000 islands, very diverse culture and people. Parang, how is that gonna answer the question? Parang nag-beauty queen pageant tayo ni General Torre. Love na love ko yan. Ang dami niya matinong sagot. But ikaw, Justice, meron ka bang matinong sagot? Is there any information if he's still in the country? Kasi active siya parati. Nagawan pa ako ng audience eh.
Yes.
Kasabay yung
Yeah,
vlog namin.
yeah, he's appearing on internet, no? So on YouTube. So I really don't know. I mean, I don't know where he is really.
You can check the IP address, di ba? Kung ito ay galing sa Xiamen, Guangzhou, Shanghai, or dyan lang sa tabi-tabi sa QC. But anyway, Justice, now, Jaren, let's talk about the greatest people, yung mga kababayan mo, Justice Garfield. Let's talk about, wala na ba, Justice? Wala na? You think she has lost it? Because Senate President Jesus Codere said, baka kailangan niya ng professional help. Is this a Sara Duterte meltdown or is something else going on here?
Well, I think it's her persona coming out as she is. It's uh it's the way she reacts, it's the way she defends herself, it's the way she attacks if she's on the offense mode, no? So, of course, she's being cornered because of the confidential funds. So, how does she uh, thwart that by diversion, by diverting the topic to another issue, no? So, the confidential fund is very getting to the heart of the matter already because it's very clear that the liquidation is fictitious, no? And uh, they never thought that it would be investigated, so they were very careless in their liquidation. So they can't get out of it because COA submitted all the papers, and it's very easy to check. So everybody's the uh, different pieces that were scattered are being put together, and we can see a clear picture. And it's difficult for her to defend herself, so she has to create another issue.
So obviously distraction is something they always talk about. Napansin rin namin biglang daming hinihimatay na dyan sa opisina ng OVP. I don't know if it's the water, the oxygen. Actually, tinanong ko si General Torren kasi he oversaw no yung transfer from Congress to no longer a detention facility. Yeah, I'm talking about Attorney Lopez, obviously, the Chief of Staff of Sara Duterte. Tinanong kay General Torre, like, ano ba yung medical conditions meron dyan? At sabi niya, gusto mo talaga sagutin ko. At ayon sa kanya, may mga nire-request pa sila ng kung ano-anong test. And then may nagtanong, sir, may tanong dito live, no? Live nagtanong, Sir, nag-request din ba sila ng lie detector test? Yung klase. Pasaway talaga ng mga tao. So, Justice, what is your reading of biglang daming hinihimatay dyan sa Office of Vice President? You think it's
Well,
the gravity of the situation?
well, if you know that you have no defense and the question is about to be asked, and you know that they know the one asking the question knows the answer, and you have to say it, and what you say will incriminate you, mahimatay ka talaga.
So legit nga, legit nga hinimatay talaga. Kasi sabi ko, chinek nyo ba yung blood pressure? Chinek nyo ba yung ano? So, I mean, again, I don't mean to, of course, I mean, all my heart and soul goes to lahat ng mga kababayan natin na ipit dyan. Pero sabi naman ni Sara Duterte, I don't know, you saw that a while ago, nag-edit pa ako sa CapCut kanina. Yung sabi ni Sara na maliit lang yung 150 million. Bakit pa namin nakawin yan? Billion-billion na nga yung ano eh. Parang, wait lang. Ano ibig sabihin ng sinasabi niya? Justice, ano yung read mo dyan? Sabi niya, maliit lang, ba't namin nakawin para masyadong pitsugin daw yung amount?
Well,
Billion naman yun.
what she is saying is she should be careful on what she wishes, no? Because baka halongkatin yung billion na confidential fund nila. Because remember, the confidential fund in Davao of the mayor is almost half a billion a year. A year, half a
At yung
billion a
kapatid
year.
niya, yung pork barrel fund nila, mga
Uh,
billion din yan, di ba? So I don't know. I'm not sure what she's trying to do. Like, parang,
you know, ang punot dulo nito, Richard, remember we filed a case, my group, before the Supreme Court that the court should declare these confidential funds unconstitutional because the Constitution says all disbursements of public funds are open to public scrutiny, the right to information, unless there is a law providing for reasonable limitations. Walang batas up to now. So the general rule is all of these disbursements, whatever you call the fund, whether you call it confidential or
yatos.
something else, the people have a right to know how you spent it. Because inimbento lang ito ni former President Duterte when he was a mayor. He was the first one to include in the city budget in anywhere in the Philippines a confidential fund. And lumaki ng lumaki, and Makati has copied it, Quezon City has copied it, and other cities are copying it. So I hope it will be decided soon na hindi nila pwede gawin ito. They cannot have confidential funds unless there is a law passed by Congress. Because the Constitution says there must be a law providing for reasonable limitations because hindi mo pwede totally iban yung public scrutiny. What the Constitution says, there can be a law that will provide for reasonable limitations on disclosure. Reasonable limitations, but the general rule is full disclosure. So because of that, nagkakaroon na ito. No? I think this should be settled. We have to have a resolution of that. No? Otherwise, this will go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. And I think that's why itong drama na nakita natin hopefully will encourage your former colleagues that they're at the Supreme Court to make the right decision on this and as quick as possible. Kasi you're right, Justice, you cannot just say, oh, I determine it to be confidential, therefore you have no right to scrutinize it. You cannot just go on like that. The confidentiality aspect cannot be predetermined in a self-interested manner, right? By politicians. That goes against the whole spirit of fiscal responsibility and accountability.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, every public official is accountable to the people at all times. Nakalagay yan eh. So, uh, when it says at all times, there is no prescriptive period for you to explain how you spend the money of the public.
Medyo naalala ko yung China, yung sinasabi nila na they will determine kung may jurisdiction yung on clause related. Di ba may parang makita mo na parang predetermined na siya. They will sign up but will determine if will you have jurisdiction or not. Now, Justice, obviously, we have been talking about itong issue ng confidential fund for quite some time. But one thing that has significantly changed the whole situation is itong pagbanta ni Sara Duterte sa ating presidente. Well, obviously, this was not the first time that Sara Duterte directly threatened the president. Meron siyang daydreaming fantasy about, beheading the president. And then sabi natin, okay, maybe siguro symbolic daw. Sabi ng isang analyst, symbolic daw. Now, ito yung line nila, Justice, conditional threat daw yung sabi niya. Parang, hindi ko sinabi na papatayin ka, pero kung pinatay mo ako, papatayin ka nung kinontrata ko. So, Justice, is there a legal basis to say it's not a threat? Kasi kailangan mo akong patayin muna bago ma-apply yung threat ko sa presidente. Like, what on earth is going on here?
Well, under the revised penal code, we have what we call the grave threats. No, that's a crime. If you threaten somebody to kill him or to mutilate or to uh, do physical injury to him or her, that's grave threats. Ang nakalagay doon, whether it's subject to a condition or not. Exactly. Uh, pag sinabi mo, pag hindi mo ginawa ito, papatayin kita. That's a subject to a condition. Pag hindi mo ako bigyan ng 1 million, papatayin kita. That's subject to a condition. Pero sinabi naman din doon, if with or without a condition. So talagang ano, it's not a defense. So sabi niya, papatayin ko kayong tatlo pag pinatay ako. The condition is irrelevant because the law says with or without a condition. Yung condition na yon is important when you consider if there is a conspiracy to commit the crime of murder, no? Kasi uh, in conspiracy, uh, there must be an overt act to commit the crime of murder. At least one overt act by one of the participants, one of the co-conspirators. Eh, wala pa silang overt act the way I look at it because yung condition was not yet fulfilled. So the hitman could not do anything. So the hitman could not do an overt act to commit the crime because hindi Sarah is still alive kasi sabi niya if I am killed. So yung they're exploring whether there is a conspiracy to commit murder. I think mahirap 'yon. Ang klarong-klaro, there's grave threats.
Exactly, exactly. I think, Justice, we went from Davao School of Arts and Drama to Davao School of Constitutional Law Studies na naman. Ayan na naman tayo. Naalala ko yung mga Kiboloy discussion natin. Na itong warrant na ito ay pang-arrest pero hindi pang-pasok doon sa compound. I mean, ayan na naman tayo sa mga kaibigan natin sa Davao. I mean, no, I mean, all due respect, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the Duterte people, no?
You know why, Richard? The following day, I think Sarah realized na she committed grave threats. Sabi niya, by the way, I never threatened them. Sinabi niya, binawi niya yung threat. That was not a threat. I never threatened them.
Parang
Eh,
galit pa
what
siya,
do you
parang
call that?
kawawa pa siya. Justice, I mean, whew, I mean, she threatened no less than not only the president, not only the speaker of the House, but even the first lady. I mean, pag sinabi, 'di ba? I mean, it's like saying, sabi ng mafia, 'di ba? You have a you have a great shop there, great family. I mean, it would be sad if something happens to them if you don't pay. Pero wala akong threat, ah. I'm just saying, malulungkot. I mean, it's like a classic mafia. Wala akong sinasabi, ah, pero kung may mangyari, sorry talaga. I mean, this is ridiculous. But just as going back to this, I mean, what would give Sarah the temerity, audacity, right, to say these things openly against the president of the republic? Is this coming from a position of desperation, from mental meltdown, or complete lack of respect for President Marcos Jr.? Kasi soon we're gonna talk about my kababayan naman. Na in fairness, finally, medyo nagalit ng konti, pero sweet pa rin daw kahit galit. What is your, why would she do this thing? I mean, she's a lawyer. She should understand that these are crazy, these things she's doing.
Well, I think the Dutertes think that they are still in Davao, that they can do this. In Davao, they do this often. Nobody questions them. And that's still their mindset uh, that kaya ginagawa namin sa Davao ito, so we can do it anywhere. So that's why they parang reflex na sa kanila to say these things because they've gotten away with it in Davao City. But when you do it in Manila, in the national capital, a lot of people will scrutinize you and lalaban yung iba, no? They're not pushover. These are also national figures. So I think doon nagkamali. Hindi niya na-distinguish na iba yung politika sa Davao, iba yung political nationwide, no? This is the big league already. Hindi pwede yung tatakutin mo lang tao,
Well, the
especially
father
the
got
president
away
who
with
is
it. But again, just to be fair, the father, and not to be fair, but I mean, I'm just putting yung tatay kasi, Tatay Digong got away with it because he was the president. In this case, Sara's
yes.
not the president. She's threatening the president. So it's a completely different scenario. And I think she's really out of
Yeah,
her depths, yeah.
yeah, it's a different. If she were the president, she'll get away with it, just like the father got away with it. But you cannot do that to the sitting president, no? You cannot threaten the sitting president. She has command. The sitting president has command of the armed forces, the NBI, the police.
And this
Talagang uh, the, the entire book will be thrown at you if you do that, and that's exactly what's happening.
pakisama na rin yung mga nasa likod ni Justice. Like,
Nasa likod ng libro.
wag may West Philippines. Eh. Just baka tayo mag-rape threat tayo. Hindi, conditional naman eh. Justice, going back to this, Rodrigo Duterte is not really helping the situation, right? Kasi ang basa ko talaga dito, ang pinaka nagpahamak kay Sara is yung kanyang ama. Especially nung January nag-start siya. He started the year with, guns blazing and threatening the president, calling for Mindanao separation, insulting the president, first lady. And then it was only in recent months, lalong nung nag-resign na si Sara, na she's stepping up and trying to replicate the father or else. But this is where Digong should help his daughter, not the other way around. Just hours after the daughter is in hot waters, he pours a volcano over the whole situation by essentially implying that he wants a coup d'etat against Rodrigo Duterte, di ba? So as we speak, the NBI is not only looking at grave threat against the president and nasapina na si Sara, but the former president could be also tried for sedition, right? Or something more serious along those lines.
Well, sedition kasi, uh, inciting to sedition, uh, your speech must incite immediately the people who hear you. Mukhang hindi naman ganyan. So, I think uh, mahirap, it's difficult to establish sedition. But for me, it's very simple. Uh, I think after Myanmar, tayo na. I mean, the ICC will issue the warrant of arrest. And under the Philippine International Humanitarian Law, the president has the discretion whether to just turn him over to ICC. Even if we are not a party, it can be done. So baka ibigay niya lang. And if that's questioned in the Supreme Court cannot say it cannot be done because it's in the law. Claro eh. The president has the discretion, the option to have the person prosecuted here or just to turn him over to an international tribunal. So ibibigay na lang siya. I think that's the easiest way for the president, the incumbent president, to do away with this problem.
The ICC as the decisive factor here, Justice. don't you see that possibly baka pwede magkumpul-kumpul lahat yan, including an impeachment on one side, sedition case on the other side, yung snowball effect. I mean, that's one scenario I can see na talagang ano sila tatambakan sila ng iba't
Yeah.
ibang kaso
Well,
sabay-sabay.
because the ICC warrant could come at any time,
Right.
so pwedeng unahin yon, no? But I think they will
Right.
also file an impeachment because from the way the House is acting, it's leading to that, no? But of course, it's a question of they have if they have the numbers in the uh, Senate, they have for sure they have the numbers in the House. It requires only one third of the members of the House to send it directly to the Senate. I think they don't have the numbers yet in the Senate, so they might have to wait until after the elections in 2025, where it looks like they will gain more seats, no, for their party. So those are the options for the sitting president.
So what you're seeing is that malabo na ma-pressure yung mga nandun sa loob na fence-sitters. Kasi when I use the word pressure is generally, of course, as BBM also said in his speech, diba, I respect yung independence of each branch of the state. We'll talk about Marcos separately, Justice, kasi apparently yung ginamit kong account is yung libre kong account. I didn't use my premium account. I'll send you right away once this expires in the next 7 minutes. Para lang may 10 minutes tayo pahabol sa some part. But I just want to focus on this part. Justice Carpio, the reason I'm concerned about the Senate is not their independence per se, because I want them to be independent. My problem is that it's the precise lack of that exercise of responsible independence. Namely, mukhang maraming senador dyan takot na takot na pag they vote against Sara or they don't protect Sara or block this, yayarin sila sa elections, whether this election cycle when they want to run for re-election or 2028 yung iba mukhang may ambition to be vice president or president. We don't need to name names, diba? We already see some of these names popping up in surveys for 2028. So what you're saying is that there's no way to induce, coax, and cajole some of these fence sitters to get their act together. Kasi ang sense ko, Justice Carpi, is that if the ICC comes in, if there's evidence that talaga there's seditious act, who knows, maybe coup plot and all, dapat some of these senators be pressured and put national interest and our national security and the rule of law above their own personal electoral interest.
Well, I think there are three vectors of attack here by the administration. One is if the warrant of arrest of ICC is issued, they'll just turn over former President Duterte. Second, they can actually file a criminal case for grave threats right away against the VP because the vice president is not immune from criminal suits. So that
And
can
could be
be done
disqualified and
immediately
could be disqualified from running in 2028 if that goes all the way.
if he's convicted. And then the third is after the election, after the 2025 election, they can file the impeachment case. I think by that time, there will be a lot of changes in the composition of the Senate. They may have the two-thirds vote required, no? But there are two things that they can do. In fact, immediately they can file a criminal case for grave threats, and the ICC might issue at any time the warrant of arrest. So uh, they have options that they can exercise immediately.
And what about President Marcos Jr.? Anong basa mo dun sa speech niya? Because this is the most angry I've seen of BBM and you're partly Ilocano yourself. So my read here is that mas Romualdez siya all this time, no? Medyo malumanay, medyo, the old statesman like Sal. Pero yung parang lumabas yung pagka-Marcos niya. Not that we want him to be more Marcos, but I think sometimes you have to draw the line, right? Anong basa mo dun sa speech niya, Justice?
Well, the way that it's being talked about in the Viber groups, it looks like uh, he has given the instruction to throw the book at them, no? To file all the cases that could be filed.
Just the book or the kitchen sink and
Everything, including the kitchen sink.
Now, we're going towards the end of our conversation. Although I hope na mahabol natin a bit 10 minutes with my other Zoom na sana maayos. Sorry about that, Justice. I used the wrong Zoom account. Um, Anong basa mo? Ramdam mo ba, Justice, yung people power ng mga DTS kagabi? Na hinintay po namin yung drone footage pa rin kung libo-libo bang dumating or million-million. Pero sa pagkaalam natin ay medyo nahirapan yata. Hindi ko sinasabi na may hakot pa nangyari. May nagsasabi pa may free piatos na pinapamigay or anything. But Justice, what is your rate? Ramdam mo ba, natatakot ka na ba dito na magwawala itong mga DDS at talagang mapaan yung gobyerno natin?
Well, I don't think they can gather a crowd. Maybe in Davao, they can gather a crowd, but not here. I don't think with an issue like this, I don't think people will go to the streets.
Kahit may free piatos or may dinner ka sa Mary Grace. Ganun.
Well, madami nga silang they brought some food pero konti pa rin pumunta no. So, well, I think they'll have a hard time getting a crowd. Maybe they will get a little more crowd than what Harry
Nanti
Roque
Boloy.
was able to. And even Kibuloy could not generate a crowd.
Okay, okay. Favorite ko pa rin yung kay kay Harry eh. Santa Team Kasamaan o Kadiliman. Harry pa rin ang favorite kong orchestrator ng mga EDSA. Andiyan lang yata sa New York, Cubao lang yata, sampo-sampo lang yata sila nagwala doon. I mean, this is this is a clown show. I mean, out of this world na ba itong mga Duterte? Di nila gets na medyo laos na sila or like baka wala pang 3% yung solid support nila ngayon.
Yeah, I think nobody would. They'll get a very small crowd if even if the old man himself comes here to call. I don't think people will rally.
Grabe ka naman, Justice. Baka naman, active naman yung mga troll farms. At least, ang
Iba
dami.
yung troll farms. Madali lang just to type and to get paid. But to walk there at noontime, it's very hot, very warm.
Dito
Iba yun.
dito mabilib ka sa mga dilawan, di ba? Tsaka pink. Oh, kahit pa paano lumabas sila, di ba? I mean, let's be honest, of all groups, ang mga nag-mobilize ng massive support ay either supporters ng Ninoy Aquino back in the day and EDSA dos and EDSA one. And of course, the pink movement, right? Justice, I mean, you know this better than me. I've seen it through the years. Parang sila lang, di ba?
Yeah, I mean the pink movement, the people there, they just show up. I mean, you don't have to pay them. They show up, they find their own transportation. But this thing, they're not gonna move if you're not going to wala kang pangtulak, no?
Wait, just I'll send you Zoom. Libre tong Zoom na to, Justice. Wait mo lang. I'll send you in 2 minutes itong Zoom ko. Yung piato si habol ko sa'yo, Justice. At totoo to kailangan, I owe you guys proper dinner in Mary Grace. Sana ma-sponsor tayo. Thank you so much.
Well, there
Yeah.
is actually a Piatos. The name Piatos, the somebody in Davao, but one T.